Hello. Hello and welcome to the series Understanding Your Coaching Credential, Understanding Your ICF Coaching Credentials. And my name is Prosperity, and I'll be taking you through the very, very important coaching competency today, Embodies a Coaching Mindset. It's a new competency that has been imbibed by ICF in the upgraded coaching competencies, which was released in 2019, and it is put into effect. The new coaching competencies has been put in effect in 2022 with the new PCC markers, the minimum competency skills that is required to be demonstrated for ACC and MCC level, and this competency embodies a coaching mindset. It's really and truly a competency which was not there in the earlier set of competencies. So, what does it mean to have a coaching mindset? The way ICF puts it, it embodies a coaching mindset, serves as a foundational competency. It's a foundational competency for all the coach practitioners, and it is focused primarily on the being of a coach. It's really moving away from doing coaching and to the being of a coach, right? What does it actually mean in that case? You know, when I go through all the competencies, this is one competency that I find that it is not restricted to the 45 minutes of coaching session. That within that coaching session, what are you actually doing? It's not really about uh, so this is the start of the coaching session and this is the end of the coaching session, and in between you are demonstrating all the competencies like listens actively or establishes and maintains agreement. It's not about really cultivates trust and safety. It's not really only about asking powerful questions or raising the awareness. uh, this is really and truly about the beingness of a coach, which means that what are you doing to become the kind of coach that you aspire to become? What are you doing to become the coach that serves the community, right? Because as coaches, we are here to serve the community. So it's about the coach developing and maintaining a mindset that is open, curious, flexible, and client centered. And it requires developing that mindset. How do you remain open, curious about your client? How do you dance in the moment and remain flexible? And how do you focus on the client all the time? It's not about what you are demonstrating as a coach. It's not really about the skills that you are demonstrating. It's about being client centered. What is it that the client needs? How are you upgrading yourself to fulfill the client's need? Are you becoming aware of the cultural and demographic differences of the client and raising your awareness to give the very best to the client? So it's really about going hand in hand with the client and facilitating the client to be the best version of themselves. At the same time, it's also about the coach becoming the best version of themselves to help the client, right? Now, how does the coach do it? How does the coach actually demonstrate this competency of the coaching mindset within the sphere of the coaching session that the coach has, especially when we are saying that it cannot be covered in that 45 minutes coaching session or 60 minutes coaching session, whatever your coaching session length is, it cannot be covered in that. So the fact is, this competency cannot truly be demonstrated within that coaching session, within that sphere of the coaching session that is there. And that is why elements of this competency is measured with the other competencies. Competency 4, 5, 6, 7 measures elements of this competency as to whether you're demonstrating it or not, but it cannot be directly evaluated as per the ICF core competencies. Similar to the first competency that is there, when the first competency says demonstrate the ethical practices, whether you are being 100% ethical to the client or not, it cannot be evaluated within that sphere of the coaching session, right? But ethical demonstrating ethical practices is still in and around the coaching session that is there, and you know that uh, with that one person and with that one client, am I demonstrating the ethical practices that is there? Whereas being developing a coaching mindset or embodying a coaching mindset is developing yourself as a coach, and it is consistently developing yourself as a coach. So, one of the parameters of embodying a coaching mindset is acknowledges that the clients are responsible for their own choices. A lot of times, as coaches, we get into this guilt or this kind of a mindset that says that, oh, my client didn't do this, my client reached the conclusion, but they didn't really follow through. So what am I supposed to do with it? It's the client who's responsible for their choices, right? As a coach, it is our duty and our responsibility to the very best to help the client to reach to the solution. It is our duty and responsibility to help the client to um, and to follow up with the client, not even to help the client, to follow up with the client to ensure that the client is following through the action plans that the client has set at the end of the coaching session. But it is not our duty and responsibility to do the work for the client. So it is the client who's responsible for their own choices that they make within the coaching session as well, that this is the right choice for me, instead of the coach saying, no, no, I don't think this is the right choice, I think this is the better choice for you. And we get into that mindset sometimes. It's hard to let go of saying that, this is the better choice to make. But continuously uplifting yourself to come from that presence that allows the client to be 100% responsible for their choice, and the client to make their choices irrespective of whether it sounds right to you or not. It's like saying that i- the best choices is not something that we always as coaches hold. That's the reason that we become coaches. It's not about being a therapy or being an advisory mode. We allow the client, and we continuously uplift ourselves to create a space for the client, that the client comes up with the best solutions. It's also about engages in ongoing learning and development as a coach. And it says develop an ongoing reflective practice to enhance one's coaching. What does this mean? How does the coach consistently practice uh, or consistently embody practices in their own self, almost like make it a ritual, or make maybe create a certain kind of goal or a plan that says that, I am going to consistently work on myself as a coach as well. It doesn't matter whether you're just starting as a coach, you've just completed your ACC level training, or you become an ACC, PCC, or an MCC level coach. It doesn't matter if you're 10 years of experience as an MCC level coach, but consistently working on yourself is very, very important as a coach, because there is so much that is going on out there. And honestly, uplifting ourselves is a continuous journey. It's a churning that happens all throughout our life. We can continuously say that, okay, I had this small bias even after 10, 15 years of being an MCC coach. If we can let ourselves reflect on us, our own selves, we can understand what are the small little changes that we can make. And so many times, as a coach training institute, when people come to when people come for the training sessions, and we say, okay, who wants to, what kind of a uh, upliftment, or what kind of a process is it that you want to go to, what are problems that you are facing. And there are times, thankfully, we've had a lot of coaches who are really keen on working on themselves first. But there are times when somebody says that, I am okay, I've done a lot of work on myself, but I want to help others now. Okay. If we truly reflect on ourselves, there's a lot that we can continuously uplift ourselves with, right? And it happens. It's like through the process, even when somebody has said that, no, I've worked enough on myself, they discover so much. They discover like aha moments, and that letting go or realizing that this is something that I was holding on to. It happens all throughout. So it's actually important for the coach to consistently work on themselves to help the client as well, because if you're not working on yourself, you will not be able to give that 110% to your client as well. It requires coaching supervision as well. Are you being 100% present with the client? Are you helping the client with the best solution? It's very, very interesting. when Satan Siri from Alpha Stars, they interviewed, I think, around 16 MCC coaches by now. Uh, Almost every coach has said that, getting coaching supervision at no matter what level of coach you are, it's very, very important. And they consistently take coaching supervision for their coaching as well. Because when the client is stuck, or even when the client is not stuck and the client is getting beautiful solutions, even then, if you can help the client or become get a 1% better solution, if you can help yourself be the person who can help the client 1% better, then why not? And it also culminates into the other one, which says that remains aware and open of the influences of context and culture on self and others. When we take coaching supervision, when we take peer coaching, when we study different materials as a coach, when we continuously work to uplift ourselves as coach and continuously practice different learning and development activities, be it a podcast, be it reading, be it participating in some training, we also consistently raise our awareness to what are the different cultural biases that we might have. It could be race, religion, sex, sect, whatever it could be. It could be different countries, biases that can happen without our knowing as well, right? Because something which is absolutely 100% okay in one culture might not be 100% okay in the other culture, right? A simple thing like shaking handshake, a simple thing like a handshake or a kissing, or it's so much okay in some cultures, but it is not okay in the other cultures. So becoming aware of our own differences as individuals and what is okay in the other culture, it also helps us become a better coach, because it helps us drop so many things that we might be thinking, okay, why doesn't this the person do this as well? It helps us become aware of what the person is saying as well. It helps us become aware of just being present in the moment with the client. And so many times I think it's beautiful that even in my coaching practices, I see just being present and listening to the client can make make me aware of some kind of a bias that I was holding, or it was not even a bias, it was just not awareness of it, right? It was just being unaware of it. And if we just reflect on our own coaching sessions as well, it can help us become better coaches. So it's one of the very, very essential elements of the embodying a coaching mindset is continuously developing yourself as a coach. It's about uses awareness of self and one's intuition to benefit the clients. Are we using that intuition as well? Or are we holding on to that intuition and saying that, no, no, it's not my responsibility as a coach. It's not my job as a coach to help the client or to give the client advice. What it is actually saying is that you are using your own intuition to benefit the client. It means that you're sharing your intuition. You're using your intuition to to be flexible in the coaching session, move the direction of the coaching session with permission of the client as well. It's and without without sticking to it. It's something which was always there in ICF competencies, that we use our intuition as coaches, but we don't become rigid about it, that this is the right thing to do. So being using our intuition and yet being flexible about it is very, very important as coaches. uh, Develops and maintains one's ability to regulate one's emotion mentally and emotionally, prepares for the session. It's so important. It's so, so important. If as coaches, if we think that coachee is taking a long time, and we feel like we're getting bored and we just should give the answers, or the client is not coming up with the solution and we feel angry, or we do not regulate our emotion before we get into the coaching session, mm, before it's so important to be centered and work on ourselves, to take that 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, because it's really for the coach to decide how much time the coach has to take. But taking that moment to become one with self first, to become the energy that is pure and positive before the coaching session starts, and continuously being in that energy that is uplifting and positive during the coaching session, and not letting go of our own emotion when something or some answer or some solution, or let's say some technical error is happening, right? So the internet is not working, or uh, we have a lot of coaching sessions on Zoom now, and Zoom gets stuck or something happens. We do not allow our emotions to take the better of us. So that's very important as well. I think I am saying very important for everything, but yeah, these competencies are so well written that each and every one makes so much sense. And the last one, which is in embodies a coaching mindset, is seeks helps from outside sources when necessary. This again, in a way, it's also about the coaching supervision. In case the client is stuck and the coach does not know how to move forward in the coaching session, the coach can take coaching supervision for themselves. The coach can seek help from their mentors and their guides as to how to move ahead in the coaching session. At the same time, it's also very clearly saying that you might have to entrust your client to some other professional. It could be a coach of a different level. It could be a coach of a um, different arena, a different speciality, or it could be a therapist, it could be a mentor, it could be a trainer, it could be a guide, it could be whatever it is. But you are very, very honest, and you do not feel less about yourself, because every client might have a different need. So you're very honestly and with total integrity, with full high esteem, letting the client know that this is something else that is required, or seeking help for yourself on how to help the client better as well. So the 8 elements of embodies a coaching mindsets acknowledges that the client is responsible for their own choices, engages in ongoing learning and development as a coach, develops an ongoing reflective practice to enhance one's coaching, remains aware of and open to the influences of context and culture on self and others, uses awareness of self and one's intuition to benefit clients, develops and maintains the ability to regulate one's emotion, mentally and emotionally prepares for the session, and the last one seeks help from outside sources when necessary. So, all this put together is really focused on the beingness of a coach. Interestingly, and I just have to say this coaching mindset is about the coach, how the coach embodies a coaching mindset. But in inner more shift coaching, we take it a step further. We also help the client to embody the coaching mindset. We help the client to become one with their own self, to connect to their beingness, because coaching is about helping the client come up with the answers that is within themselves, right? So unless and until the client is connected and rooted in their own beingness, how will the client come up with the answers which is true to themselves and which is not coming from the influences that is happening outside? So one of the very basic elements of inner more shift coaching is getting into their connecting to the beingness or the guru state or the supreme state of excellence. It doesn't matter what you call it, but connecting to that beingness is very important. So as a coach, also because everyone who trains to become a coach, you first connect to that area of beingness within yourself, and when you continuously keep enhancing it, you you learn how to be open, focused, and relaxed at the same time. Open to the blissful potential that is there within you, focused on the results that you want, with continuously being open to the possibilities that arises, right? So being flexible and focused at the same time, and relaxed with the courage that is there deep within, that I can face anything that comes. I have the conviction. So courage and conviction is something that makes you relaxed, right? When you get into this mindset and add the energy of love, uniqueness, and inner knowingness to it, it's a beautiful combination which makes the person connect to their beingness. So as a coach and as a client, we always connect the people to their beingness to take the session forward so that the answers come from the true self. It also helps the person to continuously enhance and continuously work on themselves, because discovering yourself and connecting to your beingness is again a process, and it's a journey that happens, right? So that's it from my side for today. My name is Prosperity, and I'm an Alpha SARS in a more shift, a PCC level coach. And I love to hear from you more about what do you think about this competencies embodies a coaching mindset. And I will also be sharing a link with you to take the test of how well do you understand? It's a very quick 10 minutes quick quiz, but you will understand how well do you understand this competency embodies a coaching mindset. Of course, I'll put it in the comment box. If you have any queries about this competency or any other competencies, or how to become an ICF certified ACC, PCC, MCC coach, what is the requirement? Please feel to message me, and I will get back to you. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.